Hello children, welcome to AIMS India's online classes. This is biology session. Habitat, adaptations in living beings. So far we have discussed about the adaptations in animals and their habitat of plants and adaptations of plants in terrestrial habitat. Terrestrial means the organisms which live on land. Today we will discuss about the aquatic habitats. The meaning aquatic means related to water. So we already discussed how fish are adapted to live in the sea. Many other sea animals have streamlined bodies to help them move easily in water. There are some sea animals like squids and octopus which do not have this streamlined shape, but still they stay deeper in the ocean near the seabed and catch the prey that moves towards them. That is the adaptation in deep sea animals. Their skeleton is also made up of cartilage. Okay, however, when they move in the water, they make their body shape streamlined. So these animals have gills to help them use oxygen dissolved in water. There are some sea animals like dolphins and whales that do not have gills. They breathe in air through nostrils or blowholes that are located on the upper parts of their heads. This allows them to breathe in air when they swim near the surface of water. That's why they usually jump from the water surface and again into the water. They can stay inside the water for a long time without breathing. They come out to the surface from time to time to breathe in air. Did you ever see this interesting activity of dolphins in the television? I think you have. Okay. So you know other water habitats, if you take ponds and lakes. Have you seen plants growing in the ponds, lakes, rivers, and even some drains? Whenever you go to a field trip or into a park, okay, nearby pond, if possible, and try to draw the kinds of plants that are seen there. How are the leaves, how are the stem and the roots of those plants which are present in the water? Some of these plants have their roots fixed in the soil below the water. In terrestrial plants, land plants, roots normally play a very important role in the absorption of nutrients and water from the soil. But in aquatic plants, roots are much reduced in size and their main function is to hold the plant in a place. Buoyancy it is called. Okay. Some aquatic plants float on water. Some have their roots fixed in the soil at the bottom, and some aquatic plants are completely submerged in water, means immersed, totally they are present inside the water. The stems of water plants are long, hollow and light. The stems grow up to the surface of water, while the leaves and flowers float on the surface of water. Okay, children, let us discuss more about these water plants, aquatic plants. You can see here nymphia, water lily, lotus, neelambo it is called. Then Vallisneria, Trapa, Hydrilla, Okay, some aquatic weeds. How beautiful they are. Aquatic plants are the plants that have adapted to living in aquatic environments. They are also referred to as hydrophytes. Okay, hydro means water, phytes means plants, water plants, or macrophytes. Okay, to distinguish them from algae and other microphytes. So you know, algae and other planktons means small water plants like diatoms. These also live in water, but hydrophytes are also called as macrophytes, means large in size, whereas microphytes means small, microscopic algae. There are three types of aquatic plants are there. What are they? Floating plants, fixed plants, and underwater plants. What are the three types of hydrophytes? Floating hydrophytes, fixed hydrophytes, and submerged or underwater plants or underwater hydrophytes. Okay. Next, so these water plants, the plants growing in water, which are called aquatic plants or hydrophytes, can be divided into three main groups: floating plants, fixed plants, and underwater plants. Let us discuss in detail about these types of hydrophytes. Floating hydrophytes. The floating plants are small, light, and spongy. Their roots are not fixed, so that float on water. Example, duckweed and water hyacinth are the two best example of floating plants. There are some plants which float on water. Some plants like duckweed, green alga, Olympiad, water hyacinth, and pistia are some of the floating plants that float freely on the top of the water. The floating plants may have roots that hang in the water, but the plant is not attached to the pond bottom. Okay, so see here, Echonia, Olympiad, lemno. These are some of the floating hydrophytes. Next, floating hydrophytes float on water. They have spongy bodies. Like a sponge, there are lots of empty spaces throughout their body and are filled with air. This makes the plants light enough to float. Lily pods are attached to the bottom and are considered emergent plants, not floating. They are emergent plant but not floating. Next, fixed hydrophytes. So here what is the main point related to the floating plants? The stems of floating plants are long, hollow and light. The stems grow up to the surface of the water, while the leaves and flowers float on the surface of water. Okay. Now fixed hydrophytes, fixed plants. Some plants like water lily and lotus have roots that fix the plants in the mud at the bottom of the pond. They are known as fixed aquatic plants. The roots of such plants are fixed in the soil at the bottom of a pond. They have plate-like leaves that float over the surface of water. See, plate-like leaves that float on the surface of water. See the leaves, the flower. Leaves and flower float on the surface of water. Okay. So these fixed plants, roots of these plants are fixed in water bed. For example, lotus and water lily. The stem of these plants are long, hollow and light. Leaves are broad and have a waxy coating. They float on water. The stomata are present only on the upper surface of the leaf. In these floating plants, on the upper surface of the leaf only stomata are present. Okay. Example, lotus, water lily, Nymphia, Victoria, Trapa. Some more adaptations. The leaves are floating on the surface of water. Nymphia, Victoria, Trapa are the examples. Stomata in the leaves are on the upper side. The stems are hollow and very light, helps the leaves to float. The stems are very flexible. They bend with the flow of water so that do not get damaged by strong water currents. Okay. So here the stems are very flexible. When even with pressure the water flows also, they bend and come back to normal, but cannot break. Submerged water plants or underwater plants. The plants like hydrilla, okay, the plants like hydrilla and tape grass grow underwater. They have long, thin, narrow, ribbon-like leaves. They have long, thin, narrow, ribbon-like leaves, and these leaves can bend easily in water. The leaves do not have stomata. Underwater plant leaves do not have stomata. They clean the water by using carbon dioxide given out by aquatic animals. They also give oxygen to aquatic animals. This is the speciality of submerged water plants, underwater hydrophytes. Some plants like pondweed, tape grass, hydrilla. These are some of the common examples which live and grow underwater completely. They are called underwater or submerged plants. Their roots fix them in the muddy soil. These plants have narrow, thin leaves without pores, means without stomata. These plants move along the water current. Such plants have very delicate shoots, delicate stem. They breathe through their body surface. The stems are flexible and have air spaces. We can grow these type of plants in aquarium also. Okay, fish ponds, pots. See here, Vallisneria, tape grass, hydrilla, Potamogeton. These are all the water plants which can grow inside. Okay, they clean the water. They produce oxygen, they add oxygen to the water, and they absorb the carbon dioxide released by the animals in the pond. Okay. Okay, children, this is about the aquatic plants. So here underwater plants, carbon dioxide given out by the aquatic animals will be taken out, and they also give oxygen to the aquatic animals. Read the textbook. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.